Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. My name's Vea. Do you freak out when you're getting legal documents sent to you? You get that email with a confusing document in it, your heart sinks, your stomach gets all tight, or maybe you've just been served where they knock at your door and there's some guy handing you an envelope with legal documents. It's so overwhelming. I totally get it. Getting these types of documents used to leave me literally shaking. I wouldn't be able to focus on anything else for the rest of the day. Sometimes I couldn't even sleep. Over the years, I have developed a system or some tools that you can apply to this situation that are going to help you manage the emotional upheaval and create powerful responses to these documents in a more efficient way with less mental spin out. Okay, the first thing I want you to understand is that because you're human, you have a brain, you have a human nervous system, you're going to get upset by receiving these types of documents. Because part of your brain's job is to constantly be scanning for threats. And a scary email or getting served some kind of legal document is definitely a threat. So there's no way that you can overcome this or be a better person, or if you just change something, you wouldn't get upset by this. That's not true. If you're in a human body, this type of stuff is gonna trigger you. It's gonna upset you. So let's just start there. We can stop beating ourselves up. So from that standpoint, we need to understand that when we've been triggered into fear, or when our nervous systems have identified a threat, we shift into fight or flight. And that means we're not thinking clearly. We can't actually understand information that we're reading, and we definitely can't formulate responses or answers to any of it. So if you receive some kind of document like this and you know you're upset because you're shaking, your stomach feels tight, maybe you're sweating, maybe your throat feels constricted, maybe your heart's beating fast, maybe you're hot, maybe you're cold. If any of those things are happening, you can just give up on the idea of reading that document and making any sense of it in that moment. What has to happen when we're in that state is we need to address our nervous systems, our bodies, and our feelings. So you get a scary email, a scary document, you notice you're upset, you're shaking. Take some time with yourself. We can do some deep breathing. That helps to regulate our nervous system, right? Breath break. Okay, we can do some deep breathing. We can go for a walk. We could do yoga. We could otherwise move our bodies. Maybe we need to listen to a calming meditation. Maybe we need to call a friend. So we get the scary document. We address our bodies. Now it's time to read it. I'm going to suggest to you that you just take in and allow this to be the truth that you're not going to understand everything in this document on its first read. Just assume you're going to be reading it at least 3 times to fully understand what it's saying. So if we go into it with that idea, our first read is just kind of a skim. We're just going to read it. We're going to let the information wash over it. We don't need to worry about every little detail. We're just going to do the first read. And pro tip, what we're looking for when we're reading this document, the most important thing you need to find right away is when you have to respond by, okay? You're going to be given a certain amount of time or not, but what we do if we don't know that is we tell ourselves a story in our head and make ourselves more upset thinking, oh my gosh, I got this, I need to respond, I'm not going to have time, la la la. Maybe you don't have to respond for a month and you've got plenty of time. Maybe you need to respond in 5 days and you need to get really serious about managing your time and formulating a response. But either way, find out the truth, make that the priority. Then it's likely that the information in the document has triggered us again. So instead of forging through and rereading and trying to understand it from a place of fight or flight, I want you to back off And again, address your body, address your nervous system, address your emotions by being with them. Breathe into it. Journal if you have to, cry if you need to, yell and scream into some pillows, or go sit in your car and rage at the steering wheel. Deal with your feelings first, because your brain can't work if you're upset. Okay? So we deal with our feelings again. Now we're a little bit calmer, and this might take an hour. It might take an entire afternoon. It might be a 2 or 3 day process. That's okay, because remember, if we're upset, we're not understanding what's in the document anyways. Okay, so then we're ready to do the second read through. And this time I suggest having a pen and a notepad, and you can take some notes about what's important. Again, prioritize finding out when you need to respond by, but just take notes. And then we go back to step 1. Are we triggered? Deal with your emotions, tapping, walking, breathing. Getting yourself to a place where you actually have access to the frontal lobe part of your brain that can make sense of all this. Then do another read through, and here's where it's actually going to start to sink in. You're going to start to understand the content. You're going to start to understand what needs to be addressed, and you can start to formulate a plan. Now, by using these tools, this whole process is going to go way easier for you. I've been doing this for years. I have done thousands of hours of therapy, hundreds of hours of seminars, hundreds of hours of reading and studying about this. And I've been talking to other single moms and other women in the divorce process for years. And this system works. With this information about your brain and your nervous system and lowering your expectations on yourself and actually working with what's there, you're going to have a calmer time. You're going to be less upset. You're going to lose less sleep, and you're going to formulate kick-ass responses without wasting so much time in some mental narrative that doesn't even exist anyway. Thank you so much for watching today. My name is Vea. This is Case by Case Divorce. I really hope this information helps you. If it does, subscribe, like, share this with other people, or drop a comment down below. Did it help? Have you tried this? What else have you tried in the past? Let's talk about it. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time. Take care. Bye.